Class 12th Subject Physics 12th chapter Electromagnetic Induction. From this chapter let us see the energy density of a magnetic field, that is energy stored per unit volume in magnetic field is called as energy density. In order to obtain the expression for this energy density of a magnetic field, let us consider a long solenoid having its length L near the middle of this solenoid. Then let A be the area of cross section of this solenoid and it is carrying current I, so that in the interior part of this solenoid the magnetic field B will be produced. Now these dots will represent that the magnetic field B is directed out of the plane of the board, and these plus signs will represent that the magnetic field B is directed inside the plane of the board. Then the volume associated with this length L of the solenoid will be equal to AL, because the solenoid is in cylindrical shape and volume of cylinder will be equal to area of cross section into length, and therefore it is AL. Now the energy stored in this magnetic field associated this volume AL will be due to the magnetic field inside the magnet, and this magnetic field is uniform throughout the length of the solenoid, and therefore energy UB will be stored in that solenoid. Now the energy stored per unit volume in magnetic field will be given as small ub will be equal to capital UB upon AL. Here small ub will represent energy stored per unit volume and capital UB will represent the total energy stored in that whole volume, and therefore UB equal to UB upon AL. Let it be equation number 1. Now we know that the energy stored UB is given as half L I square. So energy stored in that solenoid will be given as half L I square, where L is the inductance and I is the current. Therefore the energy stored per unit volume will be given as UB equal to half L I square upon AL. Rearranging the terms, we can write L by L into I square upon 2A, equation number 2. This bracketed term will represent inductance per unit length. And then for a long solenoid, we know the inductance per unit length is given as this expression already we have obtained, that is inductance per unit length L by L will be equal to mu 0 n square A. Mu 0 n square A. This n will represent number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. Let it be equation number 3. Now putting equation 3 in equation 2. So putting equation 3 in equation 2, we will get UB equal to mu 0 n square A into I square upon 2A. That will be written as half mu 0 n square I square, half mu 0 n square I square as equation number 4. Now for a solenoid, the magnetic field at the interior is given by the formula, that is magnetic field inside the solenoid. This formula already we have studied, that magnetic field inside the solenoid B is equal to mu 0 Ni. B is equal to mu 0 Ni. Now putting this value in the equation of UB, we can write UB equal to half, because this equation is half mu 0 n square I square. If you put this value, then we have to square this mu 0 and divide it by mu 0. Therefore, rearranging the terms, we can write ub equal to half mu 0 square n square I square upon this mu 0. So that will be written as half b square upon mu 0, because mu 0 n I represents b, and therefore mu 0 square n square I square will represent b square, and therefore the energy stored per unit volume, that is energy density in magnetic field, is equal to half b square upon mu 0, equation number 5. Now let us see the next point, that is mutual inductance denoted by capital M. Mutual inductance capital M, that we will have to find out. So for that purpose, let us consider these two coils placed side by side. So coil 1 and coil 2, these are the two coils which are kept close to each other. The first coil, coil 1, is connected to a rheostat RH, that is variable resistance R key, and the battery B, so that current I1 is flowing through this coil. Then the second coil, that is coil 2, is placed close to it. It is connected to a sensitive galvanometer G. Then as I1 is the fixed current flowing through the coil, due to this current, magnetic field B1 will be produced in the surrounding region of this coil 1. So around this coil 1, due to this current I1, magnetic field B1 will be produced. Then let phi 21 be the magnetic flux linked with coil 2 due to the magnetic field B1, and therefore this phi 21, that magnetic flux linked with second coil, will be given as phi 21 equal to integration over S2 factor B1 dot factor dA. So this S2 will represent the effective area of the coil 2, which is in magnetic field B1, and therefore S2 represents the effective surface area enclosed by that coil 2. If the positions of the coils are fixed in the space, if the positions of the coils are now fixed in the space, that is of coil 1 and coil 2, then we can write phi 21, that is phi 21 will be proportional to current I1. Phi 21 will be proportional to current I1, and therefore phi 21 equal to M21 into I1. M21 into I1, that relation we will get, and therefore as phi 21 equal to M21 into I1, this M21 will represent the constant of proportionality and is called as mutual inductance, or the coefficient of mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to coil 1. Now if the current I1 changes slowly, if the current I1 flowing through this coil 1 changes slowly, the magnetic flux linked with the coil 2, the magnetic flux linked with the coil 2 will change, and EMF will be induced in that coil 2. EMF will be induced in that coil 2, and therefore that EMF induced in coil 2 will be given as E21 will be equal to minus d phi 21 by dt, that will be equal to minus d by dt of M21 I1, because this phi 21 is M21 I1. So differentiating this, we will get minus M21 into di1 by dt. As this M21 is constant, therefore the differentiation we will get minus M21 di1 by dt. Now similarly we can write, similarly we have the EMF induced in the first coil due to the current in the second coil, that is E12 will be equal to minus d phi 12 upon dt, that will be equal to minus d by dt of M12 I1 M12 I2, that will be equal to, here that current will be the current in the second coil, that is I2, that will be equal to minus M12 di2 by dt. So in this relation of E21 we have considered current I1, that is in the first coil, and for this E12 we have considered current I2, that is in the second coil. Now by symmetry of these coils 1 and 2, by symmetry we have M1 equal to M2 equal to M, M1 equal to M2 equal to 1, that is mutual inductance of coil 1 will be equal to mutual inductance of coil 2, let it be equal to M. So if M1 is equal to M2 is equal to M, that we have written here by symmetry. And therefore now let us see the definition of this mutual inductance. So for we have seen here by symmetry the mutual inductance or the coefficient of mutual inductance is the same for both these coils and it is equal to M. Now as phi 21 is equal to Mi1 and phi 12 equal to Mi2, therefore we can write M equal to M equal to phi 21 upon I1, phi 21 upon I1, that will be equal to phi 12 upon I2, that is M will be equal to, this M will be equal to phi s upon IP equal to phi p upon Is. In this case the first coil is considered as the primary coil, that is P, and the second coil is considered as the secondary coil S, and therefore we will get M equal to phi s upon IP, that is magnetic flux linked with this secondary, that is coil 2, upon current in the primary, that will be equal to magnetic flux linked with the first coil, that is primary, divided by the current in the secondary, that is Is. So these are the values. Then from this relation we can write phi s will be equal to MIP and phi p equal to MIS. Now by using Faraday's law we can write the expression for the magnitude of EMF induced, that E will be equal to minus d phi s by dt for magnetic flux linked with this secondary coil only. We have written this expression so that E equal to minus d phi s by dt will be equal to minus d by dt minus d by dt MIP, because phi s is equal to MIP, and that will be equal to minus M dip by dt, as M is constant. So we will get expression for the magnitude of induced EMF, E is equal to minus M dip by dt, and therefore M will be written as, that is mutual inductance M is equal to magnitude of E upon dip by dt, E upon dip by dt. This expression will give us the mutual inductance M, and therefore it will be defined like this. Mutual inductance will be defined as, mutual inductance is defined as the induced EMF produced in the secondary coil per unit rate of change of current in the primary coil. Mutual inductance is defined as the induced EMF produced in the secondary coil per unit rate of change of current in the primary coil. So this will be the EMF induced in the secondary coil per unit rate of change of current in the primary coil. This will be the definition of mutual inductance. Now the mutual inductance is measured in SI units in terms of Henry, and therefore the SI unit of mutual inductance is Henry, denoted by capital H, and therefore we can write Henry equal to volt upon ampere per second, that is volt upon ampere per second. But volt upon ampere is nothing but ohm. This second will be shifted to numerator, and therefore we will get Henry equal to ohm second. Henry equal to ohm second. Now from this relation we can define again Henry. If the current in the primary coil changes at the rate of 1 ampere per second and EMF produced in the secondary coil is 1 volt, then the mutual inductance M of two coils is 1 Henry. If the current in the primary coil changes at the rate of 1 ampere per second and EMF produced in the secondary coil is 1 volt, then mutual inductance of the two coils is said to be 1 Henry. That is, when this E is equal to 1 volt and this rate of change of primary current is again 1, at that time the mutual inductance of the two coils will be equal to 1 Henry.